So let's talk about time flies with synthetic materials that are uncommon. In this case, I'm using a shredded condom to replace sort of the nymph skin, latex, and yarn that I would use in a regular killer bug. I got this idea originally when I saw someone else using condoms and latex in order to make these ultra realistic bugs, and I thought I want to give it a try. So I used a number 12 Mustad scud hook and some very fine copper wire like a traditional killer bug, and built up the body. And then I took this old condom that was like 20 years old that I found and shredded it into strips, and it actually tied in really quite easily. And the color that I have was sort of a pale beige, and that really had a very realistic sort of waxwormy maggot sort of look. And then adding a piece of crystal flash allowed me to build segments, and the color changing pops of the iridescent crystal flash was really amazing. So building up the body a little bit with the copper wire actually helps in creating that heavy nymph that's going to be sinking pretty quickly in the way I'm fishing. When I use the latex to wrap the body, I found that if I varied the thickness of the latex itself, that it could appear to be thin, or if I twisted it and spiraled it, I could bunch it up to make it look more like segments. Sometimes it was slip out of my hands, but it was an easy fix. Just pull a little tension, things unwrapped a little bit, and then you could quickly start the wrap again. The awesome thing is that when you're actually looking at it, you're building the body, you can see through the translucent latex, and the copper wire on the inside looks sort of like bug intestines or body organs. I mean, it really is quite amazing how lifelike it started to appear. Using the very fine copper wire, it really works quite a bit like thread. I can tie things off quickly and can create shape as well, a little bit more effectively. When I tried doing this with regular thread, I found that it cut into the latex, whereas the wire tended to just hold it in place and didn't cut it and create these deep ridges. The crystal flash, I tried using the hackle holder that I have, the hackle vise, and that didn't work too well. So I found just quickly wrapping it with my fingers worked really quite easily. And I could evenly space it and create those segment edges. But when the light hits this crystal flash, being iridescent has tremendous color changing. Sometimes it would appear purple, other times sort of a green or blue. I mean, as I held it in my hand, I was really amazed at how colorful this little bug was through the translucent latex and through the crystal flash of the body. Building the head will allow this to sink forward a bit. I tried to keep that as even as possible, and I found also that when I'm ready to finish up, that using a hand whip finish was much more effective at working with the wire and not breaking it, because if I used a regular whip finisher, it tended to snap the wire because I would go too fast or too hard. I worked slowly with this because I'm not as adept with wire, but I love being able to just sort of snap it off. A quick hit with head cement, and I made some 14s, some 12s, and I even tied a couple in kabari.